Hi there, this is Elise Bennin, your marketing mentor. And this is the podcast for you if and only if you are ready to leave the feast or famine syndrome behind, and I mean for good. Welcome to the 499th episode of the Marketing Mentor podcast. And let me say, wow, just wow. It's hard to believe I've been podcasting since April of 2008, which was kind of before podcasting was a thing, if I remember correctly. And now here we are in April of 2024. What's most amazing to me is that I've kept it going pretty much every other week for 16 years. The podcast has evolved, and I've definitely evolved quite a bit since then. And I'm still thinking about whether and how I might want to mark the milestone of my 500th episode in 2 weeks, but we'll see. In the meantime, today I'm doing something a little different, as is my wont. I always loved that phrase. It's a short solo episode to share a message I got in December from Holly, who's a client I haven't worked with in a few years, but who is still tuning in and wanted to share a message that might be relevant for anyone who is feeling like you just want to give up on self-employment. So, as I like to say, listen and learn. Here's what Holly wrote. I wanted to share something with you that I'm sure you'll appreciate. I think I've told you that I've been lurking around your content. When I go for walks, I take you along with me and catch up. I was listening in to one of the office hours of the Simplest Marketing Plan a little while back, and you were discussing the idea of reconnecting with previous contacts and clients that you haven't been in touch with for a while as a targeted outreach strategy. A little light bulb went off in my head at that point, and my mind immediately went to Michael, a client who had given me a lot of business. I lost touch with him when he moved to a different company. Anyway, I didn't run to my computer to reach out, but eventually I sent him a friendly email asking how he was doing at his new job and letting him know that I had just completed a ghostwriting course. I told him I thought of him because writing a book is a good marketing tool. Let me know if you have any interest, I signed off. To my surprise, he emailed back almost right away and said yes, he was definitely interested in writing a book and asked to set up a conference call. That was around the end of August. When we talked, he told me he left that company because they were hinting they weren't doing very well financially and they might have to reduce his salary. At that, he resigned and went to work doing independent consulting. We talked about the possibility of him writing a book, and I sent him a short survey to try to help him with his book idea, why, what, and for whom he was writing a book, etc. Then, within days of that conversation, he emailed me and asked if I would be interested in writing an article for a travel insurance company he's doing some consulting for. And that ended up being 2 articles. I, of course, agreed, but also told him my rates had gone up, which he quickly agreed to. Then, about a month ago, he called me and said he'd gotten a new job as the CEO of a vacation property rental company, and he wanted to talk to me about doing monthly articles, case studies, social media, yuck, etc. I had a conference call with him this morning, and he talked about taking me on part-time to do a lot of writing. He knows I need time to travel, play tennis, and visit my grandchildren, all very important to me. He said he completely gets that. And then at the end of the conversation, he said, oh, and I still want to write that book. But he hadn't had a chance to review the survey I had sent him. He promised to look at that over the Christmas holidays and wants to discuss more in January. You know how I keep saying that if I just had one good client, I'd be happy at this point in my life? Well, this could be the gig I've been trying to get all this time. But quite honestly, I don't think the idea would have come to me if I hadn't continued to keep listening to your podcasts and other office hours. The moral of the story is don't give up on yourself and just quit altogether. Keep listening, keep taking courses, keep in touch with people, because you never know when that one person comes along and needs what you have to offer. That's advice for those people who might be holding on by a thread and thinking to themselves, this isn't working. It's not a done deal yet, but I'll surely get some work out of it. I already have gotten work from it. and all from just one little email that was probably only 3 or 4 sentences long. So Elise, you helped me big time without even realizing it. Sometimes it's the timing of what you say more than what you say that makes all the difference. Happy holidays, Elise. I appreciate you. So that was in December. She sent me that. And I wrote back, this is awesome, but not surprising because this is exactly how it works. And she wrote back, I guess it's only surprising because it usually happens to other people, not me. Ha ha. Of course, feel free to share. If it inspires just one person, it's worth it. So that was in December, and here we are in April, and I reached out to Holly to see if there was any update, but I have a feeling she's on one of her vacations or playing tennis with her grandchildren. But I really just love Holly's message because, as I said, this is exactly how it works. But marketing only works if you do it. If you give up, if you stop, if you drop the ball, you essentially betray yourself and you lose everything you've invested. So please don't do that. Keep listening. And if you want to build a thriving business on your own terms, the first step is always to sign up for my quick tips at marketing-mentortips.com. Once you're on the site, you'll find lots more resources, including my simplest marketing plan. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time.